Hello chessmates, welcome to a new video. Today we are going to solve unexplained puzzles. That's what this video is about. So let's start. As I always say, the first thing we need to do when we see a new position and we need to understand what is happening is to analyze the material relation. So let's see. It is white to move here, and we have one queen against one queen, two rooks, two minor pieces, and then white has like 6 pawns as black has 5 pawns. So it means that we have 1 pawn up. Yeah, I'm analyzing something here. I see this queen here is hanging, so I don't know, maybe in some point there might be some idea moving the bishop, and with check it could be a discover check, and then I could take the queen. Of course that doesn't seem possible right now, but maybe in some point it could happen. For example, right now I'm thinking about rook takes f4. Then if black takes the rook, I could play e5. When I play e5, I'm threatening the bishop, and I'm threatening bishop d3 to discover check, getting the queen. So this is an idea that's probably very interesting, at least. So let me check. So first move, rook takes knight. I don't think there is any strange idea for black here, so I think black has to take the rook, and then I will play e5. I'm threatening the bishop, so something black can play in that position is queen h4. This is interesting because then I cannot take the bishop because black is mating here. So I will receive checkmate if I take directly the bishop. However, I can play something like bishop d3. This is check. Then black king has to move. If black king goes to g7, I will take the bishop with check. So let's say black king has to go somewhere else, for example to h6 or maybe even to h5, and then I can take the bishop, because when black takes the pawn I can block here with the queen on h2, and as the king is here or here I will be trading queens. So yeah, that seems to be the right line. I will get in that line a knight and a bishop, as I will have to give my rook and probably 1 pawn, but it seems like a nice simplification. So I think the endgame we will have after that sequence will be winning for white. So I think that can be the right line. So let's try. And then we said e5, and then queen h4 is the move we analyzed, and then bishop d3, and then I can take the bishop. Yeah, okay. Okay, and here we have this position. It is white to move. This pawn advances like this, and we have a minor piece down, but we have a pawn. So we have a pawn for a knight, but this is a passed pawn and it's creating some trouble. So let's see. The first move, or the most logical move we should analyze, I guess, here is this e6. I'm threatening e7 and e8 getting a queen, and it seems very hard to stop that pawn. Okay, so e6, the bishop is not going to be able to stop the pawn because there is only one dark square, and the bishop is not going to control that square in this move. So the only way is the knight. So he can play something like knight d4 attacking my pawn. Then I can play e7. Well, actually, e6, probably knight c3 is even better, because when I play e7, he can play knight d5, and then black is threatening the pawn, and if I promote to queen, black can check here. So we should analyze both lines, but probably this knight c3 is going to be slightly better. So let's see, e6, knight c3, then e7 is a logical move. Well, in this position, e6, knight c3, if I play e7, he can play knight d5, so I'm thinking this strong move, bishop e1. The idea is that now I'm threatening e7, because then I cannot move. So let's see what can black play after I play this bishop e1. Black can play bishop f6, of course, but then I will take the knight with check. I'm also threatening the bishop, so he will have to take my bishop, and then e7 is winning. So e6, knight c3, bishop e1. He can move the king, let's say king to b6, but then I just remove the knight, and when he takes back, I can play e7, and I'm promoting. So yeah, e6, knight c3, bishop e1, and then I'm winning in that line. Well, there is another line here. So e6, knight c3, bishop e1. What about this king b6? I said after king b6, I said bishop takes knight, but then he doesn't have to take my bishop. He can still play king c6. Yeah, this is strong, because if I take, then he may come to d6 and capture my pawn. So yeah, this is a good line. So we need to continue calculating that variation. Yeah, definitely that line doesn't work. So yeah, e6, knight c3, bishop e1 is not the right move. Yeah, I'm just realizing that I don't have to play bishop e1. That should be a mistake. Black can get a draw in that line. So e6, knight c3, I can play this bishop d8 check. This is strong because this is check. Now I'm controlling c7. It means that knight d5 won't be as strong as it was, because knight c7 won't be a possibility. So after bishop d8, he can play king somewhere. Let's say king a6, and then I will play e7. Yeah, he can play knight d5, and then I can promote to queen. There is an interesting idea here where he checks, and I take his knight, because it's the only option to avoid to lose the queen. And then the king is in stalemate position, but he has the bishop, so he can still play. So let me check that for one last time. e6, knight c3, then I play bishop d8, some intermediate move. He plays king a6, and then I play e7. After knight d5, I promote. I'm winning in that position. So e6, knight c3 doesn't work, but we said that we were going to analyze knight d4, or even knight f4 is strong. So knight f4 seems very strong, because when I play e7, he has the same idea. But then I don't have to play e7 directly. I can play the same in between, bishop d8, king a6, and e7, and this is winning. So knight f4 doesn't work either. So e6, knight d4 is the other move. The idea is that after e7, he can play knight to b5 or e6, with the idea of some knight c7. So that line is interesting. So e6, knight d4, then I should play probably the same move, bishop d8. The king is going to move, let's say king a6, and then I will play e7. well, I don't see how I'm not winning in that line. So yeah, probably there is some stalemate line here I'm missing, and probably we will have to find the right move or the most accurate way to continue after some move we are missing. But up to now it seems more or less clear, so let's play it. E6, yeah, bishop f6. Okay, we didn't calculate this. Yeah, the idea with this move is that now black is sacrificing the bishop, so in the lines, in the stalemate line we saw, black won't have the bishop, so it actually will be stalemate. So yeah, let's calculate. Bishop takes bishop, then black plays knight f4, I will play e7, and black will play, sorry, after knight f4 I will play bishop d8 check, in between king a6, and then we set e7. After knight d5, if I promote to queen, black will play knight c7, and if I take, this is a stalemate. So I've got to be careful with that. So bishop takes bishop seems like the only move I have here, so I'm going to calculate that. Then he plays knight f4, and then what? Yeah. The key is that when I promote, as you know, I don't have to ask for a queen, and I can ask for a rook. If I promote to rook, then I'm not controlling b5. It seems like it means that a move like knight c7 I take. This is not a stalemate. The king may come over here. So let me show you. Bishop takes, and then bishop d8, and then e7, and then I promote to rook. I hope I don't have promotion to queen enable here. Yeah, okay. So I promote to rook, and yeah, this is the solution. Now knight c7 doesn't make any sense. Okay. And here we are playing as white, and we have one queen, two rooks, and one minor piece, two minor pieces, and 6 pawns, 5 pawns. So our opponent has a minor piece up, as we have a pawn as compensation, but also let's see, he has some problems, some development problems here. The king is not very safe. Our pieces are very active, all of them. So yeah, it doesn't seem like a bad position. Let's see. Well, right now I'm analyzing something. Well, probably I've never said this before, but I'm assuming you already know it. When we're analyzing a tactic position, the first thing we should look at are the checks, and if the checks don't help us, then we should look at the captures, and if the captures don't help us, then we should analyze threats. So something that is not a check, something that is not a capture, but is threatening something really strong. So that's the idea. When we are analyzing and solving a puzzle, or maybe even in a game, those are the things we should analyze first in that order when we think we might have some winning tactic sequence. So as I don't have any good check, I instantly thought about some good capture, and then I'm analyzing this queen takes queen, bishop takes queen as an interesting line, because then I can play knight c7, and then I'm threatening the rook. At the same time I'm threatening rook d8, checkmate. So this is very strong. Queen takes queen, knight c7. Probably he can develop the bishop to e4. Then I can take the rook. Yeah, but he takes my rook, I take his bishop, and I don't have advantage there. I mean, it's the same position. I have a pawn up, but king e7, the knight is there, I have to come back. Yeah, it's a possibility. I will get 1 point that line, but I need to check that because I'm not sure. There might be something better in this position. Well, right now I'm thinking that if my knight is not here, I might have some very nice move. I can play something like rook d8, and if the bishop takes, I will have mate on e8, because then the rook is controlling this. So maybe that's some good idea here. Well, there is another good idea. I can just capture the bishop, and then my queen is hanging. I mean, he cannot recapture because he will lose the queen, but my queen is hanging. But if black takes the queen, I can play rook d8, check. It's not mate, he can block here with the queen. But then I have some discovered ideas. I can play knight g6. He has to take with f, otherwise it would be mate here on e8. So let's say f takes g6, and then I take with this rook on e8. The king moves, I take the other rook on h8. I have the two rooks here in the back rank, so I'm also getting the bishop. Yeah, that seems much better, I guess. So I'm going to check that line. My first move is knight takes bishop. I'm threatening his queen. I'm also threatening the some knight here. He cannot capture because the rook is there. So it seems very strong. If he takes my queen, then I will have some check here. He blocks with the queen. I have this cover check with the knight, and then I'm taking the rook, the queen, and also the rook, and then I'm getting the bishop. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's the right line. Okay, well, yeah, the puzzle doesn't continue, but yeah, after he takes, I will take the queen, and then I will take the rook, and then he won't have a way to protect the bishop because there is a pin here, so I will get his bishop too. And here we're playing as white. We have one queen, one rook, two rooks, two minor pieces, and 6 pawns, 6 pawns. So right now I have a whole rook down. That's the situation here with the material. My opponent has a rook up, but I'm watching some interesting pattern here. If I can play queen h7 in some way, this is mate. Look at the king. This is going to be checkmate if I can play that. That makes me think that all I need to play that is to clear this line, and I can do that very easily. I can move my bishop, threatening the queen here, and then I clear the line. So I will be threatening mate, and I will be threatening the queen at the same time. So yeah, let me check just to make sure there's no a good defense I'm missing here for black. But yeah, that's the line. Let's see. Okay, let's see the last one. And here we are playing as white, and our opponent plays rook h8. We have two rooks, a knight, a bishop, and 3 pawns, 3 pawns. So the material is balanced here, but this is very dangerous in this position because right now black is threatening checkmate in one move here. So let's see how we can defend and maybe try to win here. Well, I'm thinking something like rook h5. The idea is that he cannot take with the rook because then I'm mating, but he can take with the bishop. So rook h5, at least I'm avoiding mate, but then he takes with the bishop, so I'm not doing too much. But then I have this idea. I have seen this mate pattern, of course, many times. I think they call it Arabian Mate. If I bring a knight here to c6, then this is mate. There's no way to defend against the mate with the rook. So this move rook h5 actually can help me to get some time, because with that move I stop the mate, I delay the mate at least for one move, because then he will have to move the bishop so he can mate me. So that gives me one more move. So rook here, bishop takes, and then Arabian Mate with knight c6. How can he stop that? Well, he can. He can stop mate with rook a7. So yeah, that seems like the right line, but let's continue calculating, because rook h5 he doesn't have to take the rook. He can still play something different, like let's say rook c8. Well, after rook c8 I can still play the Arabian Mate idea, because this rook is not really controlling c6 because of a back rank weakness. This rook has to protect the back rank. So I can still play knight c6. This is very strong. Yeah, I'm sure this is winning. There's no way for black to defend. So I'm going to try that line. It seems pretty clear. So rook h5. He takes with the bishop. That's what we wanted. And then knight c6. Bishop here and then mate. Okay, well, we're going to finish with this one. This is the video I wanted to show you today. I hope you have enjoyed and you have learned calculating here with me with these puzzles. If it was like that, remember, some likes. That's it. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to subscribe, and see you in the next. Hello chessmates, welcome. I don't have I hope I don't have those are the things we should think when we think. That's why I prefer this queen c6, and that's why I'm going to try with that line. Well, that's not the right line.